Hello, and welcome once again, Thrift fam, to another edition of the Thrift Store Prep. And we're going to do another little weekly review, which is something I do every now and then, or a video about nothing. And by nothing, I mean I'm not really going to be demonstrating, advising, or talking about anything interesting other than the goings on of the last week or so. And I think the last weekly review I did was with reaction to the first Marfugal tsunami, and we've had a couple of little smaller aftershocks since then, and we've grown from 75 to 700 to 1300 to 1700 in such a very short space of time. Is quite astonishing, overwhelming, and each and every day I get blown away by your kindness and support and all the things that you're saying and offering to do with me, be it making me introductions for my channel, or offering to make donations for my time and effort. And that's really something I'm not all about. And I'm really not all about the doom and gloom in the fear mongering and such force like this. So a little something I'm going to throw in from the week was I mentioned the unicorn rainbow symbology, and partly why I bought this. I'll give you the reasons for after, as much as it was to draw your attention to it. Now, this is something that is very, very disturbing in my opinion, that is going on, and something that is being used to program the very, very young. Now, it's not something I'm actually willing to cover or talk about on this channel because it is a very sensitive and delicate subject, and I don't really want this channel to start going down those paths. I want the inappropriate, unpolitically correct humor and grown-up adulthoods acting like teenage kids back in the 80s kind of mentality. But this thing, people, I want you to research for your own. I've drawn your attention to it, so when you finish watching this video, before you start watching any more of my other, take a little bit of time, go to the search bar, rainbow unicorn symbology. And as I bought this to draw your attention, the other reason I bought it for it is because what this symbology represents, I'm going to be washing my sweaty ballsack and ass with each and every night, because that's what I think about this ideology. So please, people, I'm not going to give you all the answers. You've got to do a little bit of research and work for yourself, and this is how we become awakened and we can prepare ourselves for what may or might not be ahead. So the weekly review, we made some date night trail mix. We showed you how this little bag of dial hand wash can also be used to wash the rest of your body, as shower gel, as dish soap, and you could even use it as laundry if you need to. Certainly you'll be able to run a few pairs of socks and underpants under a tap, or maybe squirt some of this empty bottle, which is reason I am on here, that in an upcoming video I'm going to show you how to make a low water shower type thing inspired by the $4 shower in a bag that I bought at Dollarama. I'm going to try and show you how we can make a doomsday apocalypse or van life convenient shower out of this, using some of the leftovers of that and some other household ingredients. So starting to give you a little bit of the predictive programming of what content to come in my videos is a little bit of the theme of this channel. So this is going to be washing my cock and balls and ass crack rather, because that represents something shit, and that's the last I'm gonna mention it unless any of you bring it up, and I will be answering your questions. But we're not going to cover the rainbow unicorn agenda on the Thrift Store Prepper. What we are going to be covering is making trail mix, ramen recipes, thrifty tips at the dollar store, and ways you can use one item can be used for multiple purposes. We're going to have some laughs, some jokes, and we're going to keep building our pantry, which at this point I will show you. And ladies, as Adam said, I'm bringing sexy back. I'm just going to let you know, I've just jumped out of the shower where I washed myself with some of this from head to toe, and I'm currently in a towel. So let your minds go crazy with that for those fangirls among you that are bombarding me with all sorts of suggestive messages. Thank you very much. Certainly gives me a smile, and yeah, there we go. But anyway, guys, I apologize for those visuals. You don't need to know that. That's probably a little bit TMI, but I ain't got much to work with, and I'm working with what I got and making do with what I got, just like my rubber band candlestick camera tripod that I am using, and is not a metaphor for anything else. So let's have a little gander over here at the pantry, and I'm trying to miss the mirror in case I can get a glimpse of me in my towel. So I twisted the boxes around because it's made it a little bit streamlined, and if you can kind of see above there, kind of fits in with the dimension of the steps and opens up that little bit the space and wasn't poking out so much. It was narrow. Everything I've bought yesterday has gone into the pantry. There are my Ziplocs that I do use over and over again, and my weed bag is, and the stuff that jerky and other things come from. My little tin here, I've got a couple of Tupperware containers, my tin opener, my sensing knife, a little water bag there, and a couple of brown paper bags because they can come in all sorts of handy purposes. The little thing here that I picked up yesterday because I couldn't get any of the bigger ones, that's what I've put my condiments in. I got my tea bags and some of the little weed baggy Ziploc heat sealed stuff, you know, salt, pepper, sugar, some little candies. This has pretty much remained as it was, except for this top one where we've got our meat stick in a can and some of the beans going on there. And as you can see, it's my trail mix that I rebagged yesterday. So you can see this is all very real. What I do and show you is stuff that I actually do and have lived by. And you know, I showed you yesterday about the beans, the mashed potato and the ramen for $10 feeding yourself on a week. Well, that's because I've actually fed myself actually on 2 weeks with that amount of food in extreme circumstances when I've been out of work or haven't had much money. That's all I had available to me, $10. First place I went was to my Dollarama. I got some ramen, some beans and some instant mashed potato. And with that, I managed to put a little bit of something in my belly and fill myself up. And that's why I suggest you, you know, if you've only got $10, then go out and buy those exact items because they will provide you a little bit of malnutrition, a little bit of vitamins, and certainly will be filling in your belly. So that's pretty much it. There's the little jar of trail mix which is still there left over, and a little Scentsy lights. So I am heading out downtown on my dinner date this evening with my platonic friends, ladies, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to step out of the thrift store and have some me time. I hope you don't mind. Disciple Dave, brother, loving all the feedback and getting in touch with you. I think you and me are going to do some fun, interesting things in the future, but I'm going to try and get back to you later tonight. For those of you that are new, thank you again for joining the TSP community and becoming Thrift Fam. The rest of you have watched all my videos up to this point in the week. Thank you for your viewership and your support and kind words. They mean so very much, and each and every week the level of overwhelmingness just continues to rise to me. I keep trying to get my feet back on the ground, but every time I do, some of you all just manage to bring me up to cloud nine, and this is just something I can't quite put into words or comprehend myself, because although I've got lots of life experience, I've never really experienced anything like this before. And you know, we're all in this together, you and me, the Thrift family, and the TSP is working together to build a thrifty philosophy. And I'm trying to rap like Adam last night because he dropped my name, and I'm feeling that's right, that I'd give him some acknowledgement and some praise, because without him my subscribers would never have raised. And I kind of can't keep going on anymore because I lost my freestyle. But there's a little bit of thrift store prepper rap for you, and maybe, who knows, I might produce myself a rap album in the future for all brought to you courtesy of Ship Video Productions. And I did mention Disciple Dave, God bless him, you're a sweetheart, my friend, and I mean that in the, you know, romantic sense. You know, your kindness is in warm character is something that should be embraced and should be part of this thrift store family. And something I'm going to sort of maybe touch on a little bit later at some point is how maybe the people that are the smaller channels, the TSP, Snafu, Disciple Dave, and you know, maybe even extend our hands out to Penelope, the squirrely prepper, which I recommended a few of you check out next week, because she's a mum. She's living on paycheck to paycheck for most part, I think, and gives some great real tips for real people. So go check her out. And there's another guy that I will recommend, and he's a lovable chap, and he has a channel called Living Frugal and Prepping. I'm going to find out the link for his channel and put it in the comments for you, so you can go and give him some thrift fam love, because he's another real dude just making some simple basic videos with some real information that may help you all. And this is what I'm saying, that maybe how we can not necessarily fight back, but how we can make a stand in this world of fakery and shills and such forth, is real people can maybe start coming together in this community, and we can start using the internet as its intended purpose, not for fear mongering or for popularity or for dopamine fixes, but for sharing information that may help people like each and every one of you that may be watching here. And hopefully you've got some information and help from your time at the thrift store, and hopefully these guys like Disciple Dave, Snafu, and Penelope the squirrely prepper, and living frugally and prepping, these kind of people, they're real folk. They're not shills, they're not on anyone's payroll, they're just real people giving you real advice. And this is why I tell you, look for the smaller channels, look for the low subscriber count, look for the low views on the video, because this is where you're more likely to find your real helpful advice as opposed to disguised advertising. Thanks, Thrift Fam. You're a wonder and amazement to me each and every day. I can't, and you don't really know how much all of you mean to me and what a difference you've made to the TSP's life. So thanks for watching. This has been a ship video production for the TSP. Keep it thrifty, family. See you next time.